I wanted to be a doctor my entire life. I didn't stumble upon podiatry until later, when I was starting to go through the applications for medical school, and I started getting calls from the podiatry schools kind of giving me information about it. And, they said, what do you want to do? And I said, I kind of want to do sports medicine and surgery, and that's kind of my main thing. I initially looked at being an orthopedic surgeon, and they said, well, you can kind of do the same thing, but have a lot more time for family and friends and whatever activities you want to do. Does that interest you? And I said, well, maybe. And that kind of one thing led to another, and that's how I ended up with podiatry. Podiatry is anything foot and ankle, basically, and it's a little confusing with podiatrists in that there's podiatrists who just do forefoot stuff, and then there's podiatrists like myself who do foot and ankle reconstruction. So basically any surgery or general care of the foot and ankle that you can think of is what I do. I take that a step further with my limb salvage training. Basically amputation prevention is another way to word it, but care of diabetic patients and preventing them from getting amputations. And I think for this area, there's a lot of diabetic patients and not a lot of people with my specific skill set, I guess. Yeah, there's some crossover in our training, and I think in a lot of institutions that can be a point of tension, but here I work pretty closely with our orthopedic surgeons, and when an ankle fracture or something comes in from the ER and makes its way to our surgery clinic, it's kind of first come, first serve, wherever the patient can best be served, and that's where they go. And I work really closely with, like, say, Dr. Bo, because we bounce ideas off of each other, and it's nice to have an institution where two minds are always better than one. So my biggest thing is the patient comes first, and we definitely try to just get them all the information they can get and for them to make an informed decision on their own. Especially the first visit is really about getting to know each other, and for me as well, it's more about a information gathering tool for the patient. My job is to educate them. So the first visits they're usually fairly long, and we give you as much information as we can so that you can make it, as I said before, an informed decision on your own care. I try to really make sure that my patients understand their problem and why they're having a problem and why they need to follow up and take care of themselves. Being so close in the surgery suite with my colleagues here with orthopedics and also general surgery, I really like kind of that team atmosphere, especially here. I'm always bouncing ideas back and forth with the orthopedic surgeons, and then Dr. Wade Liston and I are the co-directors of wound care, so we're constantly working together, and we honestly have a huge wound care team as well. So between that and the surgery department as well, we just have a really cohesive team. For me, is I do feel like I provide a service to this community that wasn't here before I got here, and I think that is rewarding. As far as the foot and ankle surgery it's rewarding, but I really do get a lot of back from taking care of the diabetics and the ulcerations and the limb salvage stuff. I think that's probably the most rewarding part of my career. Golf is probably the biggest thing I do when I leave here, but my wife and I enjoy just about anything outdoors. It's been a little bit less since we've had the kids, but we like cross-country skiing quite a bit, and then we do get out and do some hiking and things like that. I guess you can do a lot of the things you can do here elsewhere, but I don't know a lot of places that feel untouched. Up here it's a lot of barren land and covered in trees and nature where you don't hear a car anywhere when you get on that hike, and I think that's special.